The Spencer Chestnutt Life Improvement Foundation, helping our children live better lives. When Spencer Chestnutt and Jerry Stephanitsis teach people how to live joyous, prosperous lives, children are happy. But when George Pantas teaches these same children the ways of destruction and violence, children are sad. By ridding the world of George Pantas, Spencer Chestnutt and Jerry Stephanitsis are helping children everywhere. The Spencer Chestnutt Life Improvement Foundation, helping our children live better lives.
The Hallstars have beaten every tag team in the history of professional wrestling, even ones that aren't alive anymore, and I've seen it, that's how I know. Ladies and gentlemen, there is not a better set of people than the Hallstars!
Again, technical difficulties. This is Set! Holy cow! It's back in VCW! You've got to be kidding me! Wait, keep your eyes on Lance Rude! What a move! Flying through the air! What a move flying through the air! Here comes security down to the ring. And Jason, he points at Jerry. Jason is going after Jerry. Get him! Get him!
Don't work here. You guys were blackballed, but
No! Right hand! Right hand! Jason is going right after Jerry Stephanitsis. Stephanitsis' lifeless body. Oh my God, the sheriff's department! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! The sheriffs! Oh, Jason's about to get arrested. Holy cow! I've never seen this in my life. And look at Jason fight. You have two armed sheriffs trying to wrestle down this big man, and they're going right after Lude. Oh, they're grabbing Lude now. They got him. They are hauling him off. And Jason and Lance Lude are being cuffed by Norfolk's finest.
What do we do? Let's go, let's go. What do we do? What are you arresting us for? Be quiet. What are you arresting us for? Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Keep going. Yeah. What do we do? Let's go. Say it over. Shut your mouth. You know. Say it over.
Because at the Liberty Lottery, July 28th, we're going to have a special six-man tag team match. It's going to be the Hallstars, the VCW Tag Team Champions, and Jerry Stephanitsis versus the Set and George Pantas. And the winner of the match will be able to claim commissionership. So if you guys win, I will welcome you back. If you guys win, I will welcome you as the new VCW Commissioner. Do you guys agree? What do you think?
Yes, and I agree, but you know what? Why do we have to wait till the Liberty Lottery? Take this.
Jerry Stephanitsis sneak attack. The match has been made. Liberty Lottery. This has to be humiliating. Oh! Solid gold record right across George Pantas' head. Real brave, guys. Real brave. We're back on the VCW hype machine. Disgusting. I hope you're proud of yourself.
Look at this souvenir I got. This broke the skull of George Pantas, and I'm going to break his skull again with my fist July 28th.
The match has been made July 28th. Liberty Lottery, commissionership of the VCW on the line. Team Jerry Stephanitsis and the Hallstar to take on Team George Pantas, and the Set. Winner becomes commissioner. You disgust me.
The following contest is a six-man tag team match to determine the new VCW Commissioner. Introducing first, from the rock and roll capital of the world and the moon, at a combined weight of 430 gold records, they are four-time VCW Tag Team Champions, the Hallstars. And their special tag team partner, accompanied by his personal security at a ripped 150 pounds, the great and powerful Jerry Stephanitsis.
Yeah, Jerry! I just blew all the speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with VCW Liberty Lottery. as Diamond Victor Griff became the United States Liberty Champion, knocking off Paul London after a year-long reign. And now I have the privilege to be joined in this broadcast booth by one Spencer Chestnutt.
Yes, you do. It's obvious you needed the help. And as far as help being out here tonight, Jerry Stephanitsis is here to help and support his friends, the Hallstars. George Pantas has pushed him too far, and now Jerry Stephanitsis is going to unleash hell and revenge upon George Pantas.
Looks like Jerry's been shopping at J.C. Penney's a little bit.
He's shopping at the same stores as Ross and James, for sure.
Nice eyeliner. As Jerry Stephanitsis there can't even rip apart that poster. My broadcast colleague in his in-ring debut with the 5-time VCW Tag Team Champions Ross and James, the Hallstars. 2 men, Spencer, you're very familiar with.
Oh, absolutely. I have managed the Hallstars in the past. They are the World Tag Team Champions. And in VCW, they reign supreme. And there's a reason for that, because they're the best. And Jerry Stephanitsis is also the best announcer. Well, besides me, of course. They're certainly better than you. And so the best can only team with the best. And that's what we got here tonight. Throw it here, Jerry!
That's your personal opinion, Spencer. But looking at these 3 men in the ring, it's hard to not look at the man on the outside of the ring, this imposing figure acting as security tonight, seconding these men.
I wish they stopped saying those things. It hurts my friend Jerry when you say those things.
Well, I don't think Jerry Stephanitsis needs to worry about what the fans say, as George Pantas, for over a year, has wanted to get his hands on this individual, and he's going to get his comeuppance this evening.
Oh, I don't think so at all. I think Jerry is mad.
So you hear the introduction right there. George Pantas introduced as a member of the set. Jason and Lance Lude being reinstated.
Did he just say it was big, bad George Pantas? I mean, he certainly is big, and he certainly is bad, so I guess it's appropriate. But I don't know what he's going to look like coming out here. He's certainly in no shape to be wrestling a match, I can tell you that.
Well, I bet she's going to look better than Jerry. As you see, Jason right there in possibly the best shape of his career. Lance Lude looking as chiseled as ever. There's 1, there's 2, and here comes number 3 as George Pantas struts down the aisle as a member of the set. Bet you thought you'd never see that, Spencer.
Maybe in the red light district of Vegas, but not certainly in VCW.
As George Pantas now coming out in Jason's robe. These 3 men looking to extract some revenge, but you have to also understand there's more at stake here than just bragging rights in this contest. The tag titles are on the line, but if Team Jerry wins this matchup, Jerry Stephanitsis will reign over VCW as the brand new commissioner. And of course, if the Set and George Pantas win, Pantas will get his job back as commissioner of VCW.
Please don't even talk about that. I've dealt with enough with George Pantas as commissioner, and I tell you what, Jerry needs to win this match. He needs to win it for me. He needs to win it for himself. But more importantly, Jerry Stephanitsis needs to win this match for all these fans, because if George Pantas becomes commissioner again, VCW is going to go right down the toilet, and George Pantas will have his hand on the handle.
I would imagine it would be a little bit better than the reign that Gremlina just completed. But nonetheless, George Pantas getting screwed over a year ago out of his commissionership. The Set losing their tag team championships to who we thought were the West Texas Hangmen, turned out to be the Hallstars, and ever since then, George has been on that uphill climb, trying to regain his job back, whether it's Travis Bradshaw, whether it's Gremlina, whether it's Jerry Stephanitsis, someone has been in his way, and tonight, he looks to get back on top.
And I tell you, that was a great moment in sports when the Hallstars... No. You keep him away from me.
And you hear George Pantas right here. The crowd getting behind him. I'll tell you what, Spencer. George looks like he fits right in with the Set.
You stay away from me. You stay away from me. I don't want to deal with you.
That certainly could be dark days ahead for Spencer Chestnutt and John Kerman.
I don't even want to think about it. I think that Jerry needs to get in there, show that vast wrestling knowledge he's picked up in an entire 2 months of training on the weekends, and let everybody see exactly what skill he can exude.
I think Jerry Stephanitsis became a wrestler as quickly as you became a lawyer.
I'm going to let that one go. That could be slander, but I'm going to let it go.
I'll have to talk to Matheny about that one. As you see right
I wouldn't understand a word he said if you did.
As you see right here, this match, Belzell, this one's underway. The VCW Commissionership is at stake. The VCW Tag Team Champions, Ross and James, the Hallstars, along with my broadcast colleague Jerry Stephanitsis, taking on the returning Jason and Lance Lou, the Set, along with George Pantas.
Oh, come on.
And if you look here,
that's wonderful. That skill, that right there is athleticism. No. I don't want to see that.
And the crowd chanting for Lance Lou to come into this contest. As Jason's going to think twice about his sin, dropping about 50 pounds in the best shape of his career. As you see right here, Ross Hall. There's a lock in, some kind of arm wringer.
That's exactly what it is. He's going to take it around to a hammerlock now.
The much larger Jason trying to fight out. The go behind tries to reverse it. Now goes to a top wrist lock, it looks like, and Jason's in control.
I don't know about that, but I mean, when it comes down to wrestling, Jason is pretty strong, Lance Lou's pretty fast, but when it comes to wrestling in the ring, nobody does it better than the Hallstars.
And the Hallstars in control right now. Ross Hall there with an arm bar as Jerry Stephanitsis and James Hall conversing on the outside. Jerry never stepping in the ring before, neither is George Pantas, so you have to wonder how much training these two teams have given these guys in preparation for this match. Also needs to be pointed out, Spencer, that the Set out of VCW for nearly a year, back in the fold and looking better than ever.
Oh yes, and they've been out ever since they lost those tag team titles again. I thought that was a great moment in sports when it happened. Somebody smart must have come up with that.
Oh, look at the athleticism right there.
I know that wasn't part of the plan. A huge drop kick by Jason.
And he shows off that slender build by a picture-perfect drop kick, sending Ross to the outside.
James going out to check on Ross, and Jerry going out there too. It's nice how the Hallstars and Jerry Stephanitsis come together with a sense of community, friendship, and love.
And Team Stephanitsis huddling right now, as you also see James Hall directing some traffic, trying to send their security over onto the side of the Set, and you wonder if that guy is going to play a hand in this contest, as he certainly played a hand previously when these two teams have squared up.
But you don't understand, the Hallstars are world-famous rock stars. They need somebody to keep all the stalkers and all the crazed fans off of them.
As Ross right now measuring Jason with some right hands, not really phasing him too much. Irish whip off the ropes, goes for the hip toss, but look at Jason there, and blocked by Ross. Nice job. These two trying to get one up on each other. Tries to reverse out of it, and Jason turns him around with a clothesline. And the Set are in firm control right out of the gates.
He's not really in control. Ross just got out of the ring just to kind of collect his thoughts. That was a lucky shot. It was a lucky shot, and you can see Jerry again with that sense of community and love helping out his dear friend with some tender words.
Well, Jerry's only going to be able to help out for so long, because when he gets in the ring, it's going to be put up or shut up time for Mr. Stephanitsis if he wants to become Commissioner of Vanguard Championship Wrestling.
Well, I hope it happens. I hope Jerry Stephanitsis.
And there's the tag right there.
Right.
Jerry Stephanitsis entering this contest.
Jerry! 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 Come on, Jerry! Get him, Jerry!
No,
Ref. You got to get him out of there, Ref. He doesn't belong in there.
As George Pantas in the ring right now, Jerry Stephanitsis in there with him.
George Pantas.
Showdown over a year in the making here. As these two get ready to hook up. Jerry, look at Jerry. And I'll tell you what, Spencer, he at least knows where he is in the ring by getting that cheap break.
He sure does. George Pantas dancing around the ring more like George Jefferson right now. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family of Sherman Helmsley during this difficult time. But Pantas is out there dancing around. He's out there boxing around. This is not boxing. This is not shucking and jiving. This is wrestling. And Jerry Stephanitsis realizes that.
Jerry needing to get back in the ring here, stalling a little bit. George Pantas chomping at the bit. I have to imagine once he gets his hands on Jerry, he's not letting go.
I don't think he will let go, but I don't think he'll get his hands on him either. I think Jerry is too quick, fast, and wily. Oh, look at what good shape Jerry's in.
I don't know what Jerry you're watching. Pantas now, trying to do his best Ali shuffle. As he's going tooth and nail with Pantas, these two yet to hook up. You got to imagine it's going to happen at any time now. And Jerry takes the cheap way out and tags in James Hall.
Go ahead, George. Why don't you fight somebody? I thought you wanted to fight, George.
Jerry Stephanitsis doing less than Danny Davis entering the contest.
You can do it, George.
As you see, Lance Lude in the ring now.
I guess George can't do it. I mean, when he had an opportunity to wrestle like he said he could, he just got right out of there. And there's Lance Lude, and they're doing things that certainly can be considered lewd.
And it's been well documented how much George Pantas wants to get his hands on Jerry Stephanitsis. But you have to imagine, Spencer, if Lance Lude or Jason does as well, they certainly wouldn't be too opposed to that.
Oh, no, I don't think they'd pass up that opportunity at all. They'd give it to George first, but if Jerry happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, that's why you talk about his ring presence and awareness.
It's been over a year since these two have locked up, but Lance Lude here and James Hall, James at the go-behind, trying to go for an armbar now, as Lance Lude has put on about 30-40 pounds since these two have last connected. Lance tries to get out of it, but a nice snapmare right there by James Hall. Into a reverse chin lock.
Beautiful rear chin lock into a reverse chin lock on the floor.
Now a side headlock here by James, using those academic maneuvers early on here, as we saw a brief entrance right there by George Pantas and Jerry Stephanitsis, but no contact was made. And James Hall with a back body drop right there.
Back drop. Oh, and a kickoff by Lance Lude.
Lance ducks underneath. Nice arm drag takedown. One more time, Lance Lude cinches in there with the arm bar. And the center in control here early on.
I told you, Lance Lude, quick. Sometimes he does a lot of flashy things. That wasn't too flashy, just 3 arm drags in a row. But the quickness, the way he does it, you just don't know where he's going to come from next. And that is the key to Lance Lude's success, his speed and his agility.
As you see, James trying to get back to a vertical base, going to back Lance Lude into the corner right here. Let's see if he can get a clean break. The referee now. The referee trying to get that clean break. James is going to back away. Oh! And a mule kick right there to the lower extremities of Lance Lude. Irish whip into the corner. He charges, no avail. And Lance Lude off the ropes. And he just picks off a nice hurricane run. What a move right there by Lance Lude, showing his quickness. Spins him up and around. Nice move. And Lance, multiple rotations into the head scissors takeover. And Jason now going to cut off Ross Hall. Gyrations right in the face of Ross, and the set is rolling right here.
Do you call that the belly butt? What is that? Oh, and speaking of big bellies, here comes George Pantas in the ring.
And George,
oh my
wait a
Lord,
second.
what is he going to do?
Irish whip on Lance Lude. Keep your eye on the little guy.
Up over the ropes. Oh my! Right on both All-Stars.
High up and over, Lance Lude taking out the tag team champions. Wait a second, Spencer. Keep your eye